Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in northern Maine. Welcome to my cabin. If you don't have a cup of coffee, get yourself a cup of coffee and pull on up to the table. We got plenty of room here. Fire's going in the background, not too awful hard this morning. The cabin is 60 degrees. It's the day after the big snowstorm we were supposed to get yesterday, but it wasn't overly big, as you can imagine, the weatherman. But I guess down in Texas area and the rest of the country is really getting hammered. So I'm thinking about you guys that are down south of us, and hope you get your power back on and all of that stuff. But I heard you guys have, I haven't got any weather up here or news or anything, just through the little clips that I get off YouTube. But it looks like you guys are really getting pounded. So my thoughts and prayers go out to you, and I hope you get your life back on track. But today, you probably want to know what's on the schedule. Well, have a sip of coffee so we're all on the same page. I threw a log on that fire so you guys would be toasty warm. I'm having breakfast here. That's first thing on the schedule. Bright sunny day out. It is absolutely gorgeous out there. But what's on today's schedule is I broke the snowmobile when I was getting firewood not too far back. I broke the bumper off the back end. My sled that I haul out firewood came up against a stump, and it pulled that bumper, broke it off in two pieces. It never was a really heavy duty bumper. It's the one that came with Skidoo. So I wasn't built for towing, and it definitely wasn't built for towing out firewood. So eventually I knew I was going to break it, so I finally broke it. So I went to the welding shop, and I had a real heavy duty one built. So today we're going to take this camera, we're going to go down to the shop, and we're going to put that bumper. We're going to replace the new bumper on the rear of that snowmobile, which when I told the welding guy, I told him to overbuild it. Overkill. I haul out firewood, and I haul fish houses and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's today. But while I'm talking, my breakfast is getting cold. Eggs and bacon this morning. So if you get here before this thing is finished, you can have eggs and bacon with me. How's that sound? I get a kick out of you guys joining me for breakfast and coffee and everything else. We did the big live stream last night. I had no intentions of it going that long, but everybody was having fun, and everybody was sticking around, and we were talking about Maine and rivers and canoe trips, and boy, we covered a lot of ground. Memory bank, I don't have it all wrote down. So as we talk, I remember different things. That's how we got with so many canoe stories. I canoed a lot of rivers here for at least 10 years. I wanted to make sure to see the state of Maine. If you haven't been here, it's really worth the trip. I got a beagle down here on the floor. She's waiting for her piece. She thinks when I cook, it's only for her. I'm pretty hungry this morning. You guys kept me pretty busy last night with that live stream, so I really didn't get to eat a supper. My plan was to quit around 6 o'clock, which is supper time. But about that time when we were just getting fired up. So I made a I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was too late to cook. So I made a peanut butter jelly sandwich and a few crackers, and we called that supper. So this morning when I got up, well, it's time for us to take another sip of coffee. This morning when I got up, I made sure this morning was bacon and eggs and some toast. Because I don't like skipping supper. Tonight we're going to have either baked potatoes or french fries and deer steak. Then after I get the bumper put onto the snowmobile, then I need to snow blow the driveway. I'll snow blow it, push it out with the tractors, whatever the fastest. It wasn't a big storm. We only got about 8 inches, and it's pretty fluffy. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm just going to push it out of the way because on Friday, they're calling for another big storm. We'll see. They're saying a foot or more. It might be because I think it's the end of what you guys are getting. Which, this time of year we always get big storms anyways, so. Then in April, I start hiking out to the lean-to. I'm really looking forward to that, too. Haven't been out there yet this winter. In April, can't ice fish anymore. So it's a good time to spend at the lean-to. Hike out there with a lunch, get a fire going. Sit there all day long with some coffee. Watch the sun come up. Watch the sun go down. Watch it cross across the sky. Just really, really nice day. The Beagle would rather have bacon. But I give her the burnt part of my egg and she gets a little bit of toast. My mother-in-law used to laugh at me every time I made eggs. She passed away a long time ago, but yeah, it was really a long time ago, 25 years plus. But I can't eat an egg without thinking about my mother-in-law. Because she always laughed at my eggs. She thought it was pretty funny that I couldn't cook an egg without getting brown lace. Now that comes from cooking it too hot, too fast. So every time I see an egg with brown lace on it, I think of my mother-in-law. Well, what a nice day out there. going to do the snowmobile first. Clean the snow off the tractor so that the sun can get right down on the tractor itself and warm up the engine. So by the time I'm done with that snowmobile, that tractor should be pretty warmed up just from the sun rays themselves. It's a little cool today, but the sun rays are quite warm. Well, there's the new bumper. I ripped the old one off. It goes up there at the top of that snow flap, mud flap, whatever you want to call it. And that's the bumper that I had built up at the welding shop. So now I'll get that installed. I won't be able to bring you along for every piece of the install, but I'll show it to you when it's done. The day is getting behind me, and I still need to get the driveway cleaned up. So I want to get this on and get this behind me. So there it is. I'll see you a little bit later. Then after that, we'll clean up the driveway. Get some kindling. And by that time, I would say most of the day will be by us. So that'll be a pretty full day. I need to shovel off the back deck. Got about 3 feet of snow on it now. What happens if I don't shovel it off? If we get a rain day, that snow gets really heavy. When I came up here one spring and the back of the deck had collapsed. So I had to jack it up and bolt it back on. So I try to keep it shoveled off now. There we go. The new hitch is installed. Back in business. I can haul fish houses and firewood. Time for coffee. And now I got to get on that driveway. And the temperature is dropping fast. If you like this kind of videos, throw me a bone. Subscribe to the channel. I've got lots more stuff like this in the works for the channel. We had to wash down that last piece of bacon. So if you had one last sip of coffee with me, in your comment, put #sip of coffee. And that way, I know who I was having coffee with. You got that? #sip of coffee. I will see you in the next video, my friends.